Hey guys, today I'm diving into the Garmin Fenix 8, which is Garmin's most recent flagship multi-sport beast. I have been testing this watch thoroughly in a lot of different venues to include work and exercise and home and sleep and everything else. And I'm going to give you 9 reasons why you might want to buy this watch. I'm going to give you 4 reasons why you might want to skip it. So please stick around for that. And let me just cut to the chase right up front. If you want the most premium, cutting-edge adventure watch that Garmin is currently producing, the Garmin Fenix 8 is it. But it comes with a flagship price to go with all of the features that may or may not be suitable for you. So I'm going to dive into the specifics. 1, the first reason, and this is purely aesthetic, it is vanity, but the look. I love the way this watch looks. It's probably my favorite smartwatch / sport watch in terms of visual design. I see a lot of smartwatches on wrists, and the only time I can recall ever going up to somebody and going, "What is that?" was a Garmin Fenix. The line has always been, at least to my eye, super eye-catching. Yeah, they're big, even in the small form, and they're a look that not everybody wants. But it's a look that I want, obviously, and you can see why. I have always been drawn to it. I love the way the metal bezel or titanium bezel looks. The bands have always been very striking to me. It looks very durable, looks a little bit tactical, looks like all the things that I really love in a watch. And so for that reason, my number 1, super shallow, I'm sorry, but it's definitely the look of the watch. 2, when it comes to the performance, this is the best performing watch that Garmin fields, okay? It has every sensor and every metric on the planet that Garmin puts into a watch. The only thing that this one doesn't do, you have to go buy another $160 chest strap to throw on to work with one of the other watches. I think a Forerunner 970 will do it to get that one little weird running metric, but everything else this watch does. It'll dive. It's got a speaker on it, a microphone, so you can take calls. So it does smartwatch stuff better. It does sport watch stuff better. Really, all of the features that Garmin makes, those are the features you're going to get with this. When it comes to GPS and that sensor accuracy, it's also better than pretty much anything out there. It equals or is in the same ballpark for all of the other best smart or sport wrist-based tracking devices in terms of GPS, heart rate variability, blood oxygen saturation, specifically about GPS, with it in its most sensitive or most accurate mode. It is crazy accurate. I love it in terms of that. In terms of the metrics that it gives you for your health, also bar none, some of the best stuff on the planet. So some of the best sensors. Also, when it comes to workout tracking, this thing crushes. Obviously, it's as good as any other Garmin out there, but I've found, especially in terms of the software and feature set, to be better than some of the earlier models. Especially when it comes to non-running features. I know that every Garmin out there pretty much handles running, not a problem. So if all you are is a runner, then this is probably not the one for you. But if you want to delve into some other workouts, like especially weight training, some people criticize the Garmin for weight training, but I found the Garmin Fenix 8 to be yet another step up from the previous models in terms of its ability to track your sets, your reps, to go back in and edit any of your sets during a workout. So if you're like, man, I put in the wrong weight, it's okay. You can go back and just throw it in there. In addition, there's a whole pile of additional strength training programs that are available in this that were not available in previous watches. So if you're a one-trick pony and all it is running, once again, maybe not for you. But if you do all the other things, then this is definitely it. Did I mention a lot of water sports? This thing is the most water resistant of all the Garmins they've kicked out as well in terms of its design. Guys, the 5th reason to buy this watch is ongoing software updates. Garmin updates bugs on all of their models across the board. So no matter what Garmin you've got, you'll probably get sporadic software updates that fix any problems or issues. And you can report those if you encounter them. In my experience, those are very rare. Like, I don't usually see them, but nevertheless, somebody found them somewhere and they fix them. But when it comes to the flagship level watches, like the Garmin Fenix 8, it gets ongoing software updates. The most recent ones that are in beta, but by the time you see this, you might actually be able to get it. I think it's gonna premiere sometime in August of 2025. Evening update, because it does the morning report. Now it has a evening report. a full keyboard if you want to respond to text messages directly. I think that only works on Android. And a host of other features that it just keeps adding. It added some additional things to sleep tracking as well. So as long as this is the most current or the newest, it's going to continue to get those new features. And even when another version, the Fenix 9, comes out and they stop handing all of the flagship level new features to it, it'll still continue to get bug fixes. So it's reasonably future-proof. I know a lot of people hem and haw about that on various forums. Hey, is this future-proof? You know, my God, is it not going to work for me 12 or 24 months from now? It's probably going to work for you for a long time, but in the short to medium term, it's also going to get a lot of cool new stuff whenever Garmin comes up with it and programs it. Guys, when it comes to mapping and navigation, this is the best watch I have ever played with, especially with the AMOLED screen. Maps look really nice. They're really easy to navigate, and so you can literally just go straight to a map. You can go to a map during a run, hike, walk, whatever. So during your activity, you can zoom in, zoom out, navigate around. You can tell it to track you back. So if you just completely and utterly lost, this watch has got you, and it does it better than any of the others. There are several other watches out there that have some ability to navigate back. Some other watches out there that have maps, no lie, but Garmin's implementation is probably second to none in terms of mapping and navigation while using the watch. And if Garmin's maps aren't enough for you, I do believe that Google just gave you the option to put Google Maps onto your Garmin watch. Haven't played with it yet, I just read about it. And it'll do turn by turn and all the good stuff. So if you would rather use a Google map instead of the Garmin mapping, it is an option for you, so you've got that as well. When it comes to batteries, I don't think anybody beats Garmin, especially in their bigger watches like this, and this is no exception. Now, I do have the 51mm, which is the biggest one. Guys, I've been running, and this is an AMOLED display. It's not solar, so it's nice and bright. I've been getting about 14 days between charges, and that's with the always-on display going. If I turned that off, I could probably get another 5 to 7 days. Me doing pretty much a workout or some sort of activity 6 days out of 7, with I would say about a third of those being GPS activities, and like I said, 13 to 14 days. That crushes my previous Fenix 7X Solar with the MIP display, which was designed to be a battery miser, and this one with AOD is better than that. Now, obviously, if I wanted crazy battery, I could get the solar MIP version of the Fenix 8 that exists, but I do love that AMOLED display. I got old crappy eyes, and so AMOLED for me, going from 2 weeks to 3 weeks battery, I don't know would be that big of a deal to me, honestly, but 2 weeks is pretty awesome for my uses. Awesome battery life. This has a lot of what I would term as smartphone or smartwatch features. Yes, I can see all of my notifications. I can respond to them, and if you've got an Android phone, you can use canned responses or a keyboard. So when it comes to those behaviors, I like it. It's got a speaker and a microphone, so I can take and make calls through this while, of course, connected to my phone via Bluetooth. I can use this to start and stop music from my phone, and I can put Spotify on here if you've got a Spotify subscription, and you can stream music directly from your watch if you don't want to take your phone with you on a run, hike, or whatever. So there's a lot of those smartphone features going. You can also access your phone's voice assistant directly through this, like if it's Gemini or Google Assistant or whatever. I found that implementation to be a little bit kludgy, so it's not my favorite. Guys, this is never gonna be an Apple Watch, Google Watch, or Samsung Watch in terms of pure smartwatch functionality, but it's darn close, and it's definitely close enough for me. Garmin really narrowed the gap with this most recent watch. And lastly, guys, in terms of the build quality, and I know this probably overlaps one a little bit, I'm sorry, hit me in the comments, tell me how you feel like I repeated myself, but when you're talking about titanium sapphire, something that's 10 atmospheres water resistant, if you're a casual diver down to 40 meters depth, it'll go there. It has dive functionality. It is awesome. I think it looks and it is built amazing. I've dropped this watch. I see no scratches on it. I did put a screen protector on it because it's my habit. Most of the people with sapphire lenses do not bother with a screen protector, but I'm double paranoid. People have said the titanium bezels tend to scratch more, and I have yet to see that in my testing. I'm not saying it's not a factor though. So if you want your bezel to remain unscratched, you may just want to opt to go back to the plain old boring steel, because obviously the sapphire and titanium does give you yet another little bit of price bump. There's a premium for those items, but there is also a weight reduction. I was actually surprised when I put this on the first time about how light it felt, both in terms of the watch unit itself and the band that was included with it. It is an amazingly durable watch that I feel will probably outlast me if I do some really dumb stuff. I think probably I'd be dead. The watch would still keep ticking. Maybe somebody picks it up and moves on with it after my demise. Amazing build quality. All right, so that's the sunshine, the roses, the unicorns, the Skittles, and the rainbows. Let me tell you the 4 reasons why you might not want to buy this watch. It's only fair that I give you those. 1, the price is brutal, okay? When it comes to the smartwatch and sport watch universe, there are watches running around for 1/3 to 1/4 of this price that probably get you darn close to all the functionality you may want, depending. A lot of ones in the Garmin line are the same thing. And if you get any Garmin, from the cheapest Garmin all the way up to this, it gives you access to the Garmin ecosystem, their Connect, which you can see on your smartphone or in your browser. It gives you a ton of data, a ton of insights into your workouts, your health, and allows you to track all sorts of stuff. So could you go buy a previous iteration of the Fenix, or could you buy any of the Forerunners, so on and so forth? Heck yeah, and get, I'd say probably 90% of the data and the functionality that you're getting from this watch. I know I did a video on which Garmin is the one for you, because there's always confusion about that. So, check that video out if you want to get a little more granularity about what kind of Garmin might be most appropriate for you. But man, if the price is kind of making you cringe, then I get that. That's definitely a reason. 2, feature overkill. I often say there's no kill like overkill. But for a lot of people, this watch might do 100 things that you have no need for, desire for, or even a desire to maybe move into or upgrade to as your fitness or whatever life kind of progresses. And so for that matter, you may just not want to bother with this watch because you don't need dive functions, you don't care about the speaker or microphone, you're not worried about the most advanced metrics in any given workout routine. You just want kind of a baseline fitness tracker that's going to work for you, or a baseline smartwatch that's going to do some fitness things. I get it, guys. This literally might be way too much. On the other hand, maybe it is just right for you. But like I said, for most people, they're probably like, I don't want to mess with all that. 3, the Garmin Fenix, even in its smallest size, which is 43 millimeters, it's kind of big and heavy. If that is a concern for you, you might want to really look at the Forerunner or Venue, because those are a little bit lighter. And once again, like I said, still kind of the same functionality or similar in a more compact form. So if big chonky is not your aesthetic or your desire, man, once again, I don't think the Fenix is for you. And lastly, guys, if you're really looking for a smartwatch that really deeply integrates with your phone, this is not going to be it. Then you're really talking about an Apple Watch, a Google Watch, or a Samsung watch. Like, those are probably going to be the ones that really kind of marry really tightly to your phone. This is not going to do it. It's going to knock on the door. It's going to suffice for some people. But if what you really, really want is that hardcore integrated experience with your phone, then Garmin's not going to get it for you. Even their flagship one's just not going to do it. Anyways, guys, I'll wrap this up. If the Garmin Fenix 8 is something you're interested in, i.e. the most flagship, cutting edge, awesome, durable watch that Garmin makes, then heck yeah, get that Fenix 8. Guys, I've got links to some stuff in the description, so if it's a watch that interests you, if you hit that link down there, it doesn't cost you any extra money, definitely helps out the channel and gives me the ability to get things like this so that I can test them and show them to you guys. Any link that you see is going to be an affiliate link, like I said, and that helps out the channel. I appreciate you guys. And I understand if this is not your jam, that also makes sense to me. There are some very nice watches out there that do not cost as much money as this Garmin Fenix 8 that still give you a lot of bang for your buck. So I can't fault you on that. I've reviewed several of them. If you look back at any of my other videos, and you'll see kind of the pluses and minuses of any of those watches. But guys, I will end this here. Thanks for watching. I know your time is valuable, and I've talked a lot. This video has probably run pretty long. If you could do all those YouTube things, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, that also really helps me out. and it really kind of shows me what videos that I'm making people want to see. As always, guys, if you have questions, you can always hit me in the comments. Let me know what you think, for good, bad, or indifferent. Guys, you can hit me on Instagram and any of the other socials. Links to that also in the description. And I will leave you. I 100% promise I am done. I won't be like the Southern pastor who closes like 5 or 6 times. Guys, thanks for watching. Take care, stay safe, and I will talk to you soon.
Get 'em, Jay.